Big up yourselves. Welcome back. Come in, shut the door. Slap the subscribe button. Slap the notification button. Slap your neighbor if they haven't slapped the subscribe button. You are now with Henchy on security stuff with Henchy. Today's going to be a bit of a short one. We are going to talk about fitness over fighting. Fitness over fighting. I've been asked in different ways what fighting style I prefer. And my answer is always this. My favorite fighting style is not fighting. Best fighting style ever. Not having to fight. That's incredible. No one gets hurt. If I don't have to fight, no one gets hurt. Don't get me wrong, if I have to fight, someone gets hurt. One of my favorite things I used to say was, if you ever see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I think bears are cool. I'd love to be transported along by a bear one day, the same way I rode a horse in, wait, that sounds crazy, but that's actually what happened. I rode a horse. I rode a horse in Egypt. I think riding a bear would be so insane. Do you know the courage? Big up the Russian man that ride bears, because that's insane. And if we're having beef and you pull up with a bear, if you pull up on bareback, not horseback, bareback, you win. Like, the beef's done. You can take my money, take my watch. Anyway, so I'd rather not fight. I would rather not fight. Can I fight? Yes. As I'm sure you all can. Fighting in this industry, and I want to make this clear, especially for if you're new to this or you're considering getting into the security industry, the bodyguarding, close protection, executive protection, surveillance industry. Forget what you watch on telly, forget Hollywood, forget Nollywood, forget Tubi, forget Bollywood, forget all of that. Avoid having to fight. Plan and have a backup plan. Social awareness on 1 million. Spatial awareness on 1 million. That's your best weapon. The thing is this. Fighting is like insurance to a car. Oops, let me change that. Knowing how to fight is like having insurance on a car. Just because you have insurance on your car doesn't mean you start crashing into everything. That's what it's like in this industry if you know how to fight. You've got it. You're not going to start crashing in. You're not going to start chucking it to everyone. You don't start looking for violent altercations. No. It is a last resort should everything else has gone wrong. You should not be excited to get in a fight. In fact, the day you have a fight, you should look at that as a bad day. Something went wrong. What went wrong? Really go and reassess. And I'm not even saying that it can't be nothing to do with you. That's the problem with risk, unknown risk. Anything can happen anywhere, anytime. It might not even be your fight, but you've had to fight just to get your client out of there. Cool. But we still have to look at it. At what point would you have noticed that it's going to go off and you should have left? Like, there's so many things to consider. So yeah, knowing how to fight is like the insurance. Just because you have it doesn't mean you start moving reckless. It's the same with the car. Also, then there are different levels. Some people, their budget only allows them to get third party fire and theft. Some people, what's the other one? But the most important thing is, in general, it's recommended get the comprehensive one because that covers you for everything, right? So when people say, well, what fighting style should I learn? Bro, what fighting style would suit you the best? What do you weigh? How tall are you? How healthy are you? You cannot want to be Shaolin monk level, but you've got no flexibility. You're wasting your time. Don't learn something that involves kicks, but you're 5'6.5". Most men's arms will be longer than your leg. You're not kicking anyone. So you've got to look at yourself physically and figure out what works best for you. Learn that skill, have that skill available to you as a last resort. Fitness will win every time over fighting. And yes, the role of fitness in fighting also plays a part, but let's separate the two for now. Fitness, as someone that has to protect other people, is on the list, right, of things that you need to have. Being alive, getting the gig, being fit. So many times, your quick 4-hour trip turns into 10 hours. Have you ever had to stand outside a hotel room for 6 hours? Let's not do that. I don't know if any of you have ever done, most of you won't. So that was me starting off like I was talking to other people in the industry. But say you've done a client that's going to perform at an arena or a stadium show. Sound check might be like 12, 1, 2, 3. Doors open, say, in the afternoon. Doors open, say, 6:30, 7. Your client's not going to be on till like 9 p.m. Do you think you will be able to have sat down for any significant length of time in that time period? No. And then they go on stage. As long as they're on stage, you're on stage. And then when they finish, they want to go to the club, to the after party. Guess who else has to go? You. You don't go to bed until they get home. You don't get to leave to go home until they've got home. Or until they're on their way home.
Surprise!
Let's go.
Fitness is so crucial. I'll never forget when I first met my guy, Lil Uzi. Big up Uzi every time. Lil Uzi Vert. Brixton. O2 Brixton. Regular show. All going well. Uzi's so funny. Big up Uzi. Next thing you know, he runs out the side stage. Boom. Big up Stretch, who was there at the time as well. Big up Jace, big up Mace. Going through the side entrance. What's man doing? What? He's running up the flight of stairs. Not walking, running. Mid-song. Runs up the flight of stairs. You can't, what are you going to do? Stay there. Let me get in here. He's going to go running. He gets to the top level, the balcony level. And he's going through the audience. No word of a lie. And then he gets on the thing and he turns around and says to Stretch, should I jump? No. No, sir. Please don't jump. Like, it's crazy. But the thing is, Uzi will do it. And the reason I know he will do it is because we've seen him do it before. And I think he did it in, was it Germany or Poland? We were together somewhere. If I can find the video, I'll stick it on. I hope I can find it. We literally just hit the stage. He might have been one song in. It might not even been the whole song. It might have been the intro. I think it was a Rolling Loud event. And immediately I saw him take off his chain. I was like, he's going to jump. He runs down the center walkway, does a somersault into the crowd. I jump over the barrier. I'm in there. Let's go. Ten-foot stages we're talking about. You listen. You don't be fooled because I'm a certain weight. People are always talking about, oh, yeah, but you can't catch me. I won't have to catch you because I won't chase my threat. Why would I chase you if you need to hurt us? I won't chase you.
Goodbye.
I will chase or run with or run after my client. I will jump after my client. I will jump for my client. The person that is paying me, I will do those things for. But your body has to be functional. It has to be able to handle it. When your client's on stage at 9, 10 p.m., you've been with them the whole day. Your body's not really in the best place. Guess what still has to happen? You've got to jump down. If they jump off that stage, you're going too. Will you survive it?
What? Oh my gosh!
You might get the type of client that decides they want to go into the center of the crowd, wherever. Or you guys have had a pop-up somewhere and the road's blocked with people everywhere. How do you move through a sea of people if you don't have the fitness for it? Alongside the fitness, I'd say, be acquainted with various types of fitness-related things. So different types of sports. I remember I missed out on a really lucrative job with a client once because it was a skiing job. But one of the requirements was that you had to be able to ski because you're going to be going up and down the slopes with the client. Guess who cannot ski?
I'm here.
I didn't get the job. There's no way. There's no ifs or buts. What are you gonna be in the What are you gonna be in the cabin looking from binoculars? What if something happens? I'll do what you're on. I'm not a great swimmer. My swimming has improved, but I'm not a great swimmer. But because of the life jacket, big up the life jackets, I'll put my life jacket on and jump in with you. What are you talking about? But in general, like I turned down maritime security opportunities in the past just because me and the water aren't friends like that. We're cool, we got a blessed relationship, but we're not friends like that. My movement's a little bit restricted in the water. So if it goes off, I'm not the best person to protect you in that environment. There are some incredible diver level CPs that I know that are so, listen, water, I'm not one of them. On land, I'm your guy. Skiing, I'm not one of them. On land, I'm your guy. On the land part of the beach, I'm your guy. On the water side of the beach, you need someone else. But these are all fitness related things because really good, and I am actually working on that. I'm gonna do more to work on my swimming, but it improves your level of fitness. Cycling. Walking. Just walking. Now, don't get bogged down into it has to be this particular thing. You have to decide for yourself what is sustainable for you. What can you do again and again and again? If you're lucky enough to find something you enjoy, go with that. Because then the likelihood is you'll be able to keep it up. Sometimes the cardio or the fitness that I do is dancing with my children. That little dance, that little jump up and down, that little wrestle, or playing games with them. I used to be able to race them. Nowadays, this old man's body's saying a lot of different stuff. So that's because their energy is different. But we can dance together, jump around, piggyback, whatever. All that stuff matters. Whatever strengthens your lung capacity, whatever strengthens your heart's functionality, it's good for you. Fitness is such a key and essential part of this role. Unfortunately, movies make you think the fitness element is only when something's gone wrong. Oh, you have to carry the client, put them on your shoulder, run out, break through a window. No, guys, you probably won't have to do that. Even in America, where there is a very strong gun culture, when you're being shot at, you're not carrying anyone. Everybody hits the floor. If you're not shooting back, everyone hits the floor. You're crawling out. You're not going to carry someone on your shoulder and be running. Not when people are shooting. That doesn't happen. There are jobs where I've seen bodyguards running alongside vehicles. If that's what your client wants for an arrival, for an entry to a place, that's what you're going to have to do. You can't say, I'm not doing it. Under no circumstances should your client look at you, your principal look at you and think to himself, I'd jump in a crowd, but this guy isn't going to follow me. Because you look out of shape or incapable of. Uzi, again, I remember he climbed like a speaker. No, not a speaker. A rack, a scaffold. There you go. He climbed the scaffold. And then when he finished doing what he was doing, he looked down and realized it was a bit high up. I looked up, I said, jump, I'll catch you. I lift 3, 4, 5 times his weight. I'm confident because I've drilled it, I've rehearsed it. Your fitness comes into play so much more than your fighting skill. And as I said, if you've planned it properly, your fighting ability should not really have to come into play. Your de-escalation skills come into play. Your diffusion skills come into play. Your diversion skills come into play. Your fighting skills, last resort. What's even more interesting is sometimes you might be with a client who may have used some substances that have made them intoxicated. So they've got energy and now they want to do stuff. They want to dance for hours. They want to go for a walk or a run. What are you going to do? I know a CP that he had an issue with his leg. I can't remember what the thing was, but it made him unable to run at any kind of significant speed. He could do really, really slow-paced stuff, but not any kind of significant speed. But he had a client that went for a run every morning. She ran every morning. So he cycled alongside her. because he couldn't run. She got him a bike. So he cycled with her when she went for a run. But you're not going to sit there. And you can't use the car because A, she's on the pavement, and B, she goes off into this kind of like trail. When she goes in the park, what are you going to do? Fitness is so key. Not to mention all the normal benefits for the mind and the body. It is such a needed tool in our line of work. Fitness. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about the value of sleep. Sleep plays such an important role in your well-being that I can't not talk about it when talking about fitness, because it relates to the helping the proper functionality of your body. So where you can, get as much sleep as you can, and get as much comfortable sleep as you can, so that your body is in a proper deep state of rest, so that when you're functioning, so that when you're performing, so that when you're protecting, you're at a much higher level of performance. Obviously it dwindles as the days wear on. Cool. But where you can get it, get it. Don't be so focused on proving you can fight. If you're still at the level that you want to prove how good of a fighter you are, I will not be rating you. That's just me. Other people might. But we're not here for that. What's a good fighting skill to know? Of an art that really depends on you. It depends on what your body's capable of. What injuries do you have? What limitations does your body have? I'm not going to be trading punches with anybody. Speed's not going to be my advantage. But that one strong low kick, chopper. Go on, we're moving on. If I grab you, you're grabbed. I was going to say get yourself into a gym. It's not you don't have to have a gym. I know like there's parks with kind of like fitness equipment now. You can do some functional stuff at home that keeps you in decent shape. I lift weights because I like it, because it makes me strong, and also reassures me that I can assess you and look at your body weight and know that I've lifted 2 of you for 11 reps before. So should we ever, not that we will, because guess what, I'm going to ask you politely, I'm going to figure out a way to appeal to your psychology for you to do what I'd like. But should I ever have to physically remove you, you will be removed. Invest in your fitness. Diet is another element that cannot be ignored. As much as you can. Eat well. Let's not go for the but you know. Yes, when you're on the road, it's difficult, of course. When you're not on the road, do the best you can. Give your body, give yourself the best advantage, or as much advantage as you can when you can. Because this industry is draining on your body. Especially if you're on the road a lot. Especially, I don't know how many of you have had to be on what we call active doors. Those are doors where you have loads of physical issues. It drains you out. It was after I got into this industry, I realized how much James Bond movies lied to us. That guy would have been in a fight with like 16 different people today, and tomorrow he's up trying to talk to some ting in a bar and then gets into another scrap. It does not work like that. When you're mash up, you need recovery time, you need healing time. The man, they give him a little balm, spray something. Hey, take this pill. It does not work like that. Can you get things that can temporarily mask pain or kill pain? Of course you can. Does that mean you won't feel anything? No. If your arm's broken, your arm's broken. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't want that. If your arm's broken, who goes to work? Please don't be that CP at work with a broken arm. Because the psychology, if we're talking about violence, the psychology of violence already gives the other person an impression in their head. And yes, we all know that everyone can be hurt, but you're already hurt. So they're like, oh, someone started this, I could finish it off. If you're in a position where you're facing a threat. So it's better for you to know how to, actually, this is a good point to talk about. There's a really good book by a good friend of mine, Sean Gallagher, Navigating the Modern Jungle. I'll tell you what it is. Give me 2 seconds. Sean. Oh, let's turn that down. On Instagram, his name is Evictus Training, and his book is called Navigating the Modern Jungle. Navigating the Modern Jungle. And it teaches you all about the essentials for spatial awareness, personal awareness, social awareness, understanding your environment, all the key factors that come into play when you're protecting someone, and not just in a professional setting, just as being a dad in a house, being an older brother, an older sister, wherever you're responsible for people, wherever people are dependent on you, things to look out for. It's time to go get the kids from school. The amazing power of de-escalation. That is such an underrated tool. De-escalation, let's go for that. Because guess what? No one got hurt. So no one's ego's bruised. So no one wants to retaliate. In fact, on another day, they'll be like, you know, that's my man. He was cool. We had a little something, but we chopped it up. Because I tell you what tends to happen. You get into a violent altercation, there are no guarantees that the other person forgets. Some people are willing to wait a long time to get you back. Some people are impulsive and they'll get you back tomorrow or the day after. Some people have money and can afford to send someone else to get you and to try again every day for a week. So the best option is actually, let's not get into something. Fitness over fighting in this industry. Stay fit, look after your bodies, really look after your bodies. Invest in your bodies, train hard, sleep well, eat well. You've only got one body. Don't let the surgery thing fool you. This is the only body you've got, and longevity is key. So do everything you can to make it last as long as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Slap the subscribe button, slap the notification button, slap your neighbor if they haven't slapped any of the first two. I'll see you next time. Bye.